What's up, y'all? Happy, what is it, Tuesday to you and your crew and your boo and whoever you knew. What is up? It's Tuesday. What did I do today? I rode my bike. I got up the hill today. I felt like Rocky. I told my husband I felt like Rocky because I rode the bike up the hill, and I have always had to get off and walk, and I just rode it like it was nothing. Now, the weather's cooler, so it's not like almost 100 degrees, and I'm like almost passing out. So I think that had a lot to do with it, and I was like, cool. Did that today, did my little workout. I had to kind of move my workout inside. The weather's changing. So sad. My pool is officially closing today. Sad. So I ordered a trampoline because I need something to save my knees. I mean, the pool was what was helping me with my buoyancy, and now I got to get something else. Other than that, my husband wanted to eat pasta, so we went to Olive Garden so he can eat his all-you-can-eat pasta. He only had 2 bowls. Like, he drug me out the house for 2 bowls of pasta. Like, I thought he was gonna light it up. But, yeah, that's what we did. Watched some football. The Commanders won, and I know the Jaguars, the Bills won. Yeah. So that was that, and, yeah. It was a slow day. It's been rainy and gloomy here, so it's kind of like, it definitely is feeling like fall. But that's it, y'all. Nothing too exciting to report on, which I love. It's quiet, and hope it's quiet where you are. Pray that all is well with you and your family, your home, your job, your cat, your dog, your mommy, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your uncle, your auntie, your cousins, your distant cousin, your distant relative, your friends, and everybody connected to y'all. Pray that y'all are safe. Let's go ahead and get started with this news. Almost 6 in 10 people say they need to earn at least $100,000 a year to stop feeling anxious about their bills. Give me 150 or 200. I'll take that. A Nebraska state senator said he would not support the Republican Party's last-minute push to change the allocation of the electoral college votes in the state to winner takes all. When should you get the flu shot? I don't know. Kmart is closing its last big box store in the U.S. I didn't even know there was any left. House Republicans will fast-track a short-term spending bill after sidestepping the lower chamber's Rules Committee as a bipartisan measure to keep the government open, face opposition from the panel's conservative members. Violent crimes and property crime decreased overall in 2023, according to data released by FBI on Monday, although the year saw a rise in car thefts. Hello. Because we definitely got our vehicle broken into a couple of times. The execution of Marcellus Williams is set to proceed as scheduled on Tuesday at the Missouri Supreme Court, and state's governor both rejected pleas to halt the procedure. I would not want to be in charge of that job. Prosecutors say that they will seek to charge the suspect discovered by the Secret Service with a high-power rifle in the bushes near the former President Donald Trump with attempted on a political figure. The Gulf Coast is bracing for a potential or significant hurricane landfall just 3 days from now. So, yeah, we're going to just be raining all over this place. The humor magazine that began in 1952 as a comic book making fun of other comic books soon became an institution for mocking authority in all spheres of life, from TV, movies, and advertising to politicians and parents. Now it's art in a museum. Mad Magazine. A polar bear was spotted on the shores of Iceland for the first time in 8 years. It was unalived by the popo. Why y'all take the guy out? What did he do? Officials in Alabama are offering a $100,000 reward for information on the people who unalived 4 people and injured 17 on a busy street in Birmingham. In Georgia, a solar installer, Clay Copeland, sees economic opportunity in renewable energy as Inflation Reduction Act fuels growth despite Republican Congressman Buddy Carter voting against it, with 70% of Americans concerned about climate change. The California Attorney General announced Monday a lawsuit against ExxonMobil on Monday, alleging it engaged in decades-long deception about whether the plastics it manufactured can be recycled. My thing is, why did y'all even switch us to plastics? We used to have glass bottles, and y'all switched us to plastics. The worst thing. Vice President Kamala Harris is considering a trip to the southern border this week as she seeks to gain ground on immigration. MoneyGram International is working to restore its financial transfer system after taking its operations offline several days ago because of cybersecurity issue, the company said on Monday. The Pentagon is deploying additional U.S. forces to Middle East, calling the Israel-Hezbollah escalation a dangerous situation. New satellite imagery indicates Russia may have conducted a failed intercontinental ballistics missile test in recent days involving Sarmat ICBM, also known as the Satan II. But it failed. It would not work. No weapons formed against it would work. Georgia's election board has advanced a plan to require ballots to be hand-counted on election day. While the rule change doesn't favor anyone in particular, it could result in a delay in the state's election results. So slow. Even though the election's in November, it's going to take at least 10 to 15 days to know what's up. Donald Trump will hold a rally October 5th at a site of his first attempt in Pennsylvania. He coming back. Wonder if everybody will put the bandages on their ear like he did. Fall foliage season is back in effect. North Carolina Republican Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson's campaign for governor is bleeding staff, and an ad buys for him are not being renewed after CNN investigation found he posted a slew of incendiary, explicit, and racist comments on a pornographic site. Now, why did he put that on there? Who saw that is my thing. A Colorado jury finds a man guilty of unaliving people in 2021 supermarket pew-pewing, rejecting his insanity plea. RFK Jr. asked the Supreme Court to restore his name on New York's ballot. RFK, you should have dropped out early. You stayed to the end. Now they ain't trying to remove your name or restore it. After misplacing $500 from a football pool win, Greg Thoe got a life-changing call from a woman who spent months searching for him to return the lost money. Bill Gates and John Batiste discussed their recent trips to Nigeria and how simple actions can help combat hunger. Y'all know the conspiracy theorists do not trust Bill Gates anymore. The free COVID tests are back for the fall of 2024. Japan said its warplanes used flares to warn a Russian reconnaissance aircraft to leave northern Japanese airspace on Monday. Eight bulls escaped a rodeo in Massachusetts and bolted through a crowd parking lot, smashed through a fence, and then ran up to a busy street. One bull was still believed to be on the loose on Sunday. He was like, "This is bull, I'm out of here." Alright, I'm pretty sure, 100% that I didn't like anything on here today. Fans are worried for Diddy's adopted daughter, but he's never been her dad legally. I really don't know the situation with that little girl at all. I've seen her around him, and it's kind of strange. John Leguizamo and Kamala Harris, she needs a big Latino celeb on her side. It could win the election for her. Will it be you, John Leguizamo? PNB Rock, who's a rapper that got unalived earlier this year, his person that did it got sentenced. Vince McMahon slams the deceptive Netflix documentary ahead of its release. You know they coming for Vince McMahon. Ric Flair's wife calls it quit after 6 years of marriage. I couldn't imagine being married to Ric Flair. So Boy Meets World, Trina McGee suffers a miscarriage after getting pregnant at 54, which, that was an amazing miracle in its own. But my condolences to her. Young Dolph, the man that unalived him, admits that Young Gotti's big brother is the one that put a hit out on him. And Young Dolph was just going to go buy some cookies. And the dude put $100,000 hit on him, and he only got paid $800. And all Young Dolph was doing was going to go buy cookies. Like, how can you ruin somebody's day like that? Jay-Z and Dame Dash are fussing over Rockefeller. They going back and forth over that. I don't know how this is going to turn out. J-Lo and Ben, the disco's queen, mediating our divorce. I don't know what that is about. Let's see what else we got, y'all. So Elon Musk he allows you to block people, but you still have to see their tweets. And I think that's foul because I blocked him and I feel like he's like doing it on purpose. Because how are you gonna, like, that's the whole wonderfulness of blocking people. You should not have to see their tweets anymore. And people are not happy about that. Somebody said, somebody please take Twitter from this man. That is so dangerous. What if people have stalkers, abusers that they have blocked? He got tired of everybody blocking him. For real. Because I know I blocked him. And he's like, you will still see my tweets. And that's foul. Elon Musk has ruined Twitter. People don't block for leisure. People block for safety purposes too. We really need to boycott that app. I remember at one point they floated the idea of this guy being president. He only did that because so many people have blocked him and he wants to see what everybody is posting about him. That is just the biggest FU. So Tiny Harris speaks out after a case against the LOL Surprise. They won $70 million in damages because they said those LOL baby dolls kind of mirrored their little group OMG. So it's good that they won that. Alright, I think we are caught up because I'm trying every day not to talk about Diddy no more, honestly. It's going to be in the news for a minute, but I don't want to talk about it every day. into these Reddits. Thought I could find something else exciting, but there's nothing else going on. Take a swig of water. A little swig of water. Alright, let's see. Which show ended so poorly that you really wish you hadn't invested so much time in it? I mean, I hated the way The Sopranos ended, but I don't regret watching it. I also hated the way The Wire ended, but I don't regret watching it. But I did not like the ending. House of Dragons was trash, even though it's coming back. Yeah, Game of Thrones was really cool, but the freaking graphics, it was so dark, it sucked. Let's see what people are saying. House of Cards, yeah, that last season when they got rid of Kevin Spacey. As much as Kevin Spacey sucks, he made that show. Somebody said Under the Dome, never heard of it. Grey's Anatomy still come on. How to Get Away with MURDER, The 100. I've tried to watch the show a million times. The Walking Dead, oh, so terrible. Dexter. Santa Clarita Diet, Heroes, Game of Thrones, True Blood. I've written and rewatched True Blood again, and it's been a while, so I still don't remember how it ended again. Shameless, yeah, Shameless. When Emmy left, it kind of fell off. Sherlock. The Blacklist, yeah, Blacklist started falling off. Manifest, Lost. Why can't people just get their endings right? It's really sucky that they do that. Do they just get mad and disgruntled? Like, fine, y'all want to cancel my show? You're going to get trash ending. What's one thing you used to believe but now think is completely wrong? Not to judge a book by a cover, because some people look crazy, and you do need to judge them. But I'm going to stand on that. That being negative and cynical made you quirky and different. Middle school was rough on us all. I used to believe that you always had to put other people's interests before yours own. I used to think working hard always means success. That karma would punish bad people. It will. It just might take a long time. That having loud arguments in a relationship was normal. That putting kindness into the world meant that the world would treat you kindly. If I do everything right, I'll win. Somebody said I was raised in a cult, so everything I was taught was wrong. What's something that sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it's actually true? Somebody said Operation Snow White. Basically, during the 70s, the Church of Scientology was concerned with all the bad press surrounding him and all the other dirt on them that could be released. So they used a huge number of contacts, and they had at various U.S. government agencies to destroy all negative information about the church. A lot of people do that. A lot of companies. In 2002, a cable technician named Mark Klein, working for AT&T in San Francisco, was sitting at his desk when he received an email from his boss that a representative from the NSA would be coming to visit for some unspecified reason. He was to give the NSA technician access to cable substation for him to perform some work. The tech did his thing, and Mark moved on without thinking anything of it. A year later, in 2003, Mark was transferred to that cable substation and by chance was assigned to monitor the internet room. This was the room where all the fiber optic ocean cables that carry the country's internet traffic terminate. While he was reviewing the engineering drawings, he realized that the schematics revealed a secret room. More importantly, the plan showed cabinets filled with fiber optic splitters coming off every cable and feeding into the secret room. And to make it even crazier, neither he nor anyone on his team had access to the room. Through his investigation, he discovered the NSA representative he had escorted previous year had worked to install install a system which was sending a copy of all internet traffic that passed through the substation straight to the NSA. In other words, he had proof that the federal government had capacity to tap into all internet traffic in the country. And I mean all of it, every email, instant message, electronic sale, medical or criminal records, research, databases, everything, complete unrestricted access. Like any sane person, he was extremely disturbed by the discovery. He went to his higher ups, but was essentially told to just keep it quiet. After retiring in 2004, he linked up with a group called Electronic Frontier Foundation and essentially blew the whistle. He did interviews and handed over all the evidence to reporters. I watched one of the interviews in 2006, which is how I know about the story. I remember thinking that it was so obvious once he explained it. Why wouldn't the NSA tap into internet traffic in the age of war on terror? I watched Enemy of State, but nothing happened. No one I speak to seemed to believe it, and Mark Klein's story eventually seemed to just fade away. 7 years later, in 2013, Edward Snowden leaked documents essentially confirming everything and then some, but to this day, everyone looks at me like a crazy person when I talk about knowing about it as early as 2006. But here's the key, now they can do it legally. Everything you put on the internet can be intercepted. The Pentagon has an insane number of bathrooms because as they were building it, the segregation of bathrooms ended. That the U.S. government actually had a paranormal unit that believed the men who stares at goats. It was based on a true story. The U.S. military was actively trying to see if they could find people with skills like stopping the heart of a goat or dowsing or psychic spying. The whole thing pretty much fell apart when it was deemed that the people participating were not very effective. Many prisoners in the U.S. are private for-profit companies. They get paid by the head and also employ the prisoners for pennies per hour to do work like telemarketing. You probably talk to a prisoner on the phone without realizing, damn, that's not unknown. The CIA fed unreasonable amounts of drugs to people to document the effects and search for new weapons. I can't imagine taking heroic doses of LSD and then getting grilled by the government scientists for days. Somebody said CIA Project MK Ultra searching for a new truth serum, and agents they dosed had no idea at the time. Fun fact, its predecessor was called Project Artichoke. The McDonald's PR machine tried to ruin Stella Liebeck's life. The coffee was so hot it melted her clothing to her genitals. People still believe she was at fault. I turned around and asked how they'd feel if a parent accidentally spilled coffee on their child that was so hot it melted the child's clothes to his body. Somehow it actually usually wakes people up. I remember when she had that coffee spill, and I used to be like, man, how did I not get paid? But there you have it. Like, she really got messed up. Let's see what else. The CIA funded organized overturn of several South and Central American socialist governments. U.S. Public Health Service chose not to treat 400 African Americans with syphilis in Alabama so they could study the progress of the disease if untreated. GM, IBM, and Ford played a major role in rearming Germany in the 1930s. George Bush's grandfather, Senator Prescott Bush, was the director and shareholder of companies that profited from the involvement with the financial backers of German forces. I feel like I gotta get out of this thread, even though I can't stop reading it. And this is none of my beliefs. This is a Reddit thread, FYI. Let's see. Which flaw in your partner's appearance do you actually love? I love my husband's unibrow, and he has a widow's peak, which he shaves both of them. But I like it, and I always say when he gets old, I'm going to make it grow out, because I'm not going to shave it. Somebody said, my wife's teeth are big crooked, but she smiles big as life. There's a real joy and confidence there. I love her and all the more for it. He thinks his nose is too big. I can't imagine looking at it any other way. It suits his face perfectly. She has a dent in her head from running into the wall as a child. My husband also has a dent that I found this weekend in his head. He doesn't know how I got it. Maybe he ran into a wall too. Premature gray hair. Yes, I would love my husband to have more gray hair. Crazy for freckles, personally, but every freckle haver seems to hate it. Tiger stripes on her butt. Stuff turns me on. She hates how big her thighs are, but I'm obsessed with them. My BFF, love of my life, may he rest in peace. He was a stutterer, and every now and then he would get stuck on certain words instead of saying the word for him. I just waited for him to be able to pronounce it, and then I would get the most irresponsible urge to kiss and caress him nonstop. It was the most endearing thing for me. He would always become irresistible in my eyes. When people love stutterers, I think that's so cute. I personally don't have that amount of patience, but you know. He's very self-conscious about his weight. He gained a lot when he went to recovery from addiction, but I think he's the most handsome man in the world. If he lost weight, my opinion wouldn't change at all. As long as he's happy, he's the best thing to ever happen to me, and I'm grateful for him in my life. Sorry, I had to scratch my eyeball. Her little belly jiggle, absolutely love it. The bit of chub. My family doesn't like that he's shorter than me, but he isn't short by any means, and I actually prefer shorter people. So this was funny today at Olive Garden too. My husband, we were walking out, and like, he always puts his hand around my waist, so I put my hand around his waist, and he was like, "What are you doing? You're not walking me out like a bee." He would not let me put his hand around his waist to escort him out. I don't know why it's like a big deal, but he said, no, I can't. It was against the law to do it in public. You cannot put your hand around his waist. Sorry, you can't. I mean, he has a hand around mine, but that's the rule. Men, hand around waist. Noted. He didn't like that. It's just so funny to me. He's like, what are you doing? Let's see. Alright, y'all, let's get into these story times. If I can get over there.
Free chicken at Popeyes? Check it out. What's the cheapest thing I can buy? Like 25 cents. One sauce. How much is the sauce? 20 right there. Okay, I get one sauce. Alright, so we got the cheapest thing that we got on that. Enjoy 2 pieces of chicken and a biscuit with the purchase of a large drink. And then we gotta get this code. Alright, so I got my free 2 chicken large Coke. What's that? Alright, so we spent $3.56 plus our ranch, which was $30. We got 2 pieces of chicken, a biscuit, and a large drink. And then you could basically just call and do it again and get another one. It's an infinite food glitch. Get free.
So this dude just goes around getting free stuff, and I think it's genius, you know? If you hurting on some funds and you want some chicken, there you go.
This is the Gemini thing. Chris Brown, of course, guilty by association. He would have orgies too and parties too. He's been sued. He's not married. Some of the girls, they don't probably ask. This is the industry. This is what they normally do. So this girl comes out saying that Sage, the Gemini, her at Chris Brown's house. Viewer discretion is advised. Let's go.
I never thought that I would make this video, but it's time. They finally got Diddy. They finally got him. But the thing is, there's so many more men out there, just like Diddy, who are abusers, who use their fame to lure women in and abuse them. And I wanted to come on here to say that it is time to out every single abuser in the industry. Every single one. they all need to be held accountable. And the thing is, I would be a hypocrite if I came on here and I was telling other women that they need to speak up if I'm unwilling to speak up. I was at Chris Brown's house by his friend, Sage the Gemini. Yes, I know. I should have never been at Chris Brown's house in the first place. This happened when I was 18 years old. I'm 26 now, as of today. And I should have never been there. But Sage the Gemini to me at his house. Chris Brown, to my friend, when she was underage. She was under the influence, and she was 16 years old. Were on two different occasions. He had me sign a paper saying that everything that happened was consensual. And he was my Uber drive. He got me the Uber to Chris Brown's house, and I didn't have any money, and I needed him to get me the ride back. And like I didn't know if he was gonna, I didn't know what was gonna happen if I, in that moment, I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. I don't really know how to talk about this. I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know that Chris Brown and Sage the Gemini are rapists. And I think that we all of us girls, guys, everybody who has been raped, abused by powerful people in the entertainment industry, fuck it. I don't care if I signed an NDA. I don't care if I signed this paper that said that it was consensual when it wasn't, and you fucking know that. I wonder how many fucking girls that you had signed something just like that. That is fucking diabolical. The fact that you had that paper brought out right after is so fucking sickening, and it tells me that you've done this before. That something else has happened, and there's no taking back. I already posted on Twitter. So I just feel like I have to make a video now too, and it's time for everybody, and now I can tell other people that they should speak out too. I'm not going to say who the girl was, because that's her decision if she wants to come out and say what happened between her and Chris Brown, but she was 16 at the time. She was under the influence. I don't care anymore. I don't care. Because I know the truth, and the truth is more important than anything, and I'm so fucking happy. It's time. It's time for all of you, for everybody to know who you all are. People are not going to be afraid anymore.
Chris, like, how I get in this? And my thing is, like, what the fuck was you doing around now? 18 and 16, which means you contributed to the delinquency of a minor little girl. Took her around there. She went in a room with Chris, your friend, allegedly, and you went in a room with Sage the Gemini. Chris probably was gonna sue this girl. But what was y'all doing fucking around there? Probably snuck, didn't even tell their parents, but I really needed the Uber because you knew you couldn't fucking tell your mama where you were. Now, this ain't the first time that allegations about Sage the Gemini has came out. So there's another girl, I think her name is Baby Gemini. My old Twitter's been deleted, but I spoke on how he targets sex workers on Twitter. I also told other sex workers that someone shared the same story. I don't have trauma or anything like that, so this ain't sympathy, but the truth is the truth, so fuck it. My memory is it, but I want to say this was like 2017-ish. She said I outed Sage the Gemini as a rapist years ago. He's a sick, weird man who had me trapped in his house with my phone in a box for 2 days while constantly intimidating me, and he anally licked me when I said I was on my period. And we interviewed this girl. Y'all don't remember that? And when she said that she couldn't fuck vaginally, and so he forced her down and ripped her in the ass, and this has been her story from the beginning and to the end. So this ain't the first time, but my thing is, like, you know, this girl was a sex worker, but this young girl is like, you 18 and you 16, and your friend is saying, how y'all get at the same time? That's weird.
I don't know. None of the comments are on this girl's side. I mean, I hope it didn't happen to her. But it is very dangerous to go sneak in to anybody's house, Chris Brown or any dude. It's not a good look.
Tasha K had a network of at least 2,500 people, subs, that were loyal to do whatever whatever she wanted to do. And the reason why she was able to get them was because at the time, she was Alicia Keys and Nicki Minaj's pet, doing hit pieces on all the people that they hated. So they didn't have to say anything. They could act great, and they would just let Tasha annoy the competition to death, which is why Tasha went after Cardi B. Her first big assistant, Chelsea, who was stealing hospital records out of her mother's computer from a hospital where Cardi B was treated. What's super, super interesting in all of that is that when she lost the lawsuit, not Alicia Keys, not Cardi B, not Nicki Minaj offered her a dime to help pay that debt. All the trolling she did for them.
Yeah, I definitely believe that. I think All Stars got some little minions on the internet that just go hard for them. We know how hard Nicki Minaj's fans go, and other people. I mean, they all have them.
Okay, listen. You need to go to jail. In case anybody was on the fence about it, I'm here to tell you that you're going to jail, okay? Okay? It's not, on this so long for you free anymore. And whatever Diddy songs you like, you're going to go ahead and start playing them all now. All that shit to get taken off of the radio. No streaming, none of that. Listen, white people, let me tell you what happened. Some of y'all don't know. I can tell Becky and Stacey on what's going on. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. The Diddler. Feds have raided his house and they found a whole bunch of okay? They found some guns, some illegal with the serial number scrubbed off, and they found some that was so wild that when people read that, they stopped caring about the AR-15s with the serial number scrubbed. Man, that's enough. AR-15s, the serial number scrubbed off is what put T.I. in trouble. He got out of it. But that's enough. You read that one more line, you're like, wait, what? This might be a typo. Let me check another source. Oh, wow, it says it on both of these news outlets. That's amazing. 1,000 bottles of baby oil were found during the FBI raid. Now, I just want to ask you, Benita, this is a freaky-ass city. Who the is 1,000 goddamn bottles of baby oil? Even a baby bottle, 1/8 is enough to cover 2 butt cheeks very well. Ask my ex, she'll tell you all about it. I used to have that ass glistening like a mother. 1,000 bottles? That's crazy. He's going to jail. I don't know what he gonna say he was doing with 1,000 bottles. I don't even care. Because I don't know what it is yet. I just know it's too motherfucking much. 1,000? All that stuff. I know the Walmart check was like, God damn. Why you can't go to self-checkout? it's a rock. Like, that's why it's so smooth all these years. You know, it's smooth as a mother. My secret ingredient is maybe on. Sure, man. Take that. You going to jail. You going to jail. R. Kelly's big on. Come on, let's draw it out. R. Kelly in jail, ready to draw it out. I don't see nothing wrong. R. Kelly is chilling. Let me out. I only had 2 goddamn bottles of payroll. Y'all got me under this shit. Just out of the house. Let me out of here. Let me step out of here in the name of love. You can have the jail cell that I was in, but I got to get out of here. Y'all done arrested me. He had 1,000 bottles of payroll. Even the lesbians are confused. I don't know what the y'all lesbians right here at the airport like real tight. Okay. 1,000 bottles is crazy. I got a bottle of payroll in my house. It's been there for about 11 years, right? Same bottle. And I can still do like that and it be moving around in there. 1,000? I mean, when you get to the party now, welcome to the party, take some more and all that. Hey, listen, this is how you know I ain't gonna never be into no freaking deal out. Okay? I'm just out of this career, but we ain't gonna never hear that Jack got caught with 1,000 goddamn bottles of payroll. First of all, you look at the video, I'm ashy in almost everything I post online. I'm a little bit ashy about everything. I feel like it makes you a man to have a little ash on you. As you get in a fight, you want to choke one out. You're like, man, what are you moisturizing your hands with? I'm trying to keep it like that. You got to with them soft ass hands. Damn, it's wonderful. That's Tom Ford. What you got on your hands? No, I don't even want to choke somebody and they be feeling a hard foul in the gym. They're like, just get it over there. Yes, man. Okay, look.
I'm a licensed pharmacist in 3 states, and today I'm going to show you the worst medications to treat a cold. There's a lot of junk out there, and I think you should save this video so you don't end up making a mistake and wasting money. First on the chopping block, we have Therapy. So yes, I'm sorry, it even has flu in the name, but it unfortunately really isn't helpful. All that is Tylenol, acetaminophen, guaifenesin, which does absolutely nothing, and dextromethorphan for cough. Now, how is that going to help a cold? Here we have NyQuil, everybody's also favorite, great packaging. Again, acetaminophen, dextromethorphan, doxylamine, and phenylephrine. And phenylephrine literally does nothing. And look how many different variations there are. My goodness. I mean, this is almost comical. It's like I'm looking at a dystopian pharmacist nightmare. Just kidding, this is real life. Mucinex, also junk. Delsum, not much better. They're just weird combinations of like the same couple things. Now, this one's the worst. I actually bought this today, Oscillium or whatever. This is literally nothing, and I bought it, and I'm going to try it this flu season to prove to everyone that it doesn't do anything. This also is junk. Sudafed PE is different from Sudafed. Sudafed is good. So what do I do recommend? Right here, baby. Pure, uncut zinc. I'll explain in another video. I'm a licensed...
At least he says Sudafed, the real deal work. That's the one you got to sign for.
Kamala said that people leave his rallies early. Out of boredom and maybe confusion. I don't remember the other thing she said, but she said people were leaving early. And this is what's so interesting about that. We can talk about how much it's warranted or how much of it he egged on or whatever, but there has not been in a very long time a political figure that is as hated as Trump by a lot of people. So a lot of people have said every type of thing about him. A lot of people have drawn him. Do you know how much you gotta hate somebody to draw them? There's a lot of people. Drawings take time. It's one thing to curse somebody out real quick. It's a totally different thing to No, wait, I'm getting his ass. about to get it, all right? So all manner of things have been said to and about him, about himself, about his family, about how he behaves, about how he actually feels, about Americans in America, all of it. But this thing hadn't been said. And it turns out that this was the thing to say. This was the thing. If you're talking about feelings, this was the thing. And doesn't look. As someone raised by black women, don't. Black women know how to hurt feelings. Only a black woman be like, no, go to his little rally and see what. That's how confident she was in what she was saying, that she told us to go. She was like, look, I'm going to do something I wouldn't normally do. Go ahead and go. You'll leave early, don't worry. That was the thing. That was the thing. And you could see it happen. You could see it, on his face, you could see it happen. This dude who has held the highest office has been called a traitor. He's been called a Russian asset. He's been called all manner of things. But this was the thing. And it's because deep down at his core, even his supporters will admit that deep down at the base of who he is, Trump is an entertainer. And all I'm saying is, as a fellow entertainer, if someone had said, Josh, people leave your shows early, out of boredom and confusion, I'd be like, oh, okay, we fighting. Say less.
Yeah, Trump didn't like that. This man going to hell because he's playing rock, paper, scissors with a lady with no arms. The things my husband would enjoy in life if I had no arms, this should be illegal.
The Vance County Sheriff's Office released this video Monday afternoon inside a Henderson Walmart the night before McGee's body was found. It appears to show Javion McGee. He's the Chicago area delivery truck driver that was found dead near a tree with a rope around his neck in Vance County. The images show the 21-year-old walking towards the self-checkout line with the blue rope in his hand. McGee approaches the counter, pays for his purchase, and then walks out the door with the rope. Today we got our first listen to the 911 calls made on the day McGee's body was found.
Hung yourself in the tree? Yeah, they look dead. Okay, what's the rope around his neck?
Detectives say McGee's body was found in a parking lot on Vanco Mill Road near Henderson, where he parked his truck. The sheriff's office quickly labeled it a death investigation, while McGee's family suspects foul play. Over the phone, a family spokesperson says the video of McGee with the rope can be explained. What hasn't been explained is his sudden death. They say the investigation has not been transparent.
This is part of trucking equipment used for loads. The family still suspects foul play. The family also stated that they still want transparency
Sheriff's Office has asked the Vance County DA and the SBI to assist in their investigation. The Vance County Sheriff...
I don't know. There's been rumors that he was in a sundown town, and I don't know, but it's definitely unfortunate, and hopefully they get answers soon.
Greg, though, is being charged as an adult for the murder of her mother and the attempted murder of her stepfather. Now, police say Greg asked her friend to come over after allegedly shooting and killing her mother, and listen to what she told the friend.
She essentially stated that she was invited there for residence by Carly. Was unsure what for. She walked in. Carly asked her if she had ever seen a dead body before. She said no. Proceeded to show her deceased mother. It was in the bedroom. Showed the gun that she used to shoot her mom. Told the crew that she had 3 shots for her mom. And then she got 3 more for her stepdad. 2 to the head, 1 to the chest.
My goodness. Now, Carly Gregg is being held on $1 million bond, and the court has ordered her to undergo a mental health evaluation. And we also know that the investigator testified that Gregg was being treated for depression and for anxiety. Gregg, though, is...
That little bad girl got life in prison. And I think that's where she needs to be. She's clearly something wrong with her.
I've had it with men who want to have sex with me, but then they go tell their friends, hey, I just took one for the team. I had sex with a big old gal. Meanwhile, you're munching on my like you haven't eaten in 13 years.
All right, y'all. That is the show for today. We'll be back tomorrow. Stay blessed.